Once Sulaiman alayhi salam organized an emergency meeting in his royal court with his cabinet and all the wise and talented people of the country. He was accompanied by a jinn who was his bodyguard in his cabinet. Suddenly Sulaiman alayhi salam announced that he wanted to get married. He asked to see the bride, then the ministers who were around him were wise and talented people. They all said to him, "Your Majesty, you are the king and prophet of the whole world. You are the head of state of our country. You should not marry such a girl. If you had told us what kind of bride you would like, it would have been easier for us to find a bride." Then Sulaiman al-Islam said, "The girl I will marry must have 4 qualities. First, she must be modest and modest. Second, she must be trustworthy. Second, she must be of good lineage. And fourth, she must be beautiful." Then from the next day, Sulaiman's courtiers went around the village and began to announce to the whole world that King Sulaiman wanted to marry. And the girl who has these 4 qualities will marry the girl. The next day, a poor fisherman was returning home after selling fish and saw King Sulaiman's soldiers passing by the road and a few people were standing there. Seeing this, he stopped there. Why were the soldiers of Solomon suddenly coming like this? Then a group of people told him, "King Solomon wants to get married and the girl he marries must have 4 qualities. The girl must be modest and modest. The girl must be trustworthy. The girl must be of good lineage. The girl must be beautiful." Hearing this, Jel started on her way home. After going a little distance, the fisherman said kindly to himself, "O Allah, I have a daughter in my house. She is also a marriageable girl. She is a beautiful woman. I have never seen a man in my life. I have not seen any man in the world. I have not seen any man in the world, let alone seen his shadow. I fast all day and worship Allah at night. If I could marry my daughter to Sulaiman, my life would be blessed. I would be Sulaiman, the son-in-law of Sulaiman, and my son-in-law would be Sulaiman on the day of judgment. I could have gone to heaven holding the hand of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. O Allah, you are the ocean of mercy, you are the most gracious, the most merciful, please accept this prayer." After making this prayer, he went home with his eyes full of tears and called his wife and said, "Wife, have you heard anything?" Then the wife said, "What is this? I have not heard anything, and why are there tears in your eyes? What has happened to you?" Then he said, "I want to marry the king of our country, the head of the state, the Prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam. The girl he marries must have 4 qualities. Out of the 4 qualities he mentioned, my daughter has 3 qualities. The girl must be a veiled woman. The girl must be a dinda girl. The girl must be beautiful and of good lineage. If we could have married our daughter to you, then life would have been blessed." Then the wife said, "Don't say all these things. We are the descendants of the prison, no house, no food 3 times a day, Prophet Sulaiman Ali, King Salam Hussein, King Solomon, the palace lacks nothing. He is very rich, we are poor people. How is this possible? Solomon, don't say anything anymore if the soldiers find out. It may be better for us not to have such a dream." This time, Jel left for fishing with her heartache in mind. At this, the girl came out of the house and said, "Where are you going, father? You should never leave like that." She did not answer this question. After a while, when the mother and daughter were sitting together, the mother said, "I heard that Sulaiman Pasha will marry a girl who will have 4 qualities. And she has all the qualities, but because she is poor and a fisherman, I could not marry her." Then the girl said, "Amazon, if I have a characterful and trustworthy servant, and Allah has given me the 7. If I get married, my female life will be successful." Or else the mother slapped her hard and said, "Kabdar, don't say such a thing. If the child Solomon finds out, he will never be able to keep us alive. It is not possible for us to dream of such a dream. Where is he? And where are we? He became the king and we became the girl." Then she sat in prayer inside the house crying and started praying. "O God, you are kind. You made Solomon the king. You gave birth to me in a prison cell. You made the child Solomon Adoni. You have made me poor. Allah, you are the one who can do everything. O Allah, accept me as the wife of Prophet Solomon. O Allah, do not let me die until I am married to Prophet Solomon. O Allah, I have only worshipped you since I was a child. I asked you that if I marry the child Solomon, my life as a woman will be successful. On the day of judgment, I will be recognized as the wife of Prophet Solomon. Do not turn my heart away. After smoking, Allah wrote a letter and sent a marriage proposal. Meanwhile, a devilish jinn has been waiting for many days to find the ring on the hand of Sulaiman al-Islam. Because of this magic ring, all people, jinn, animals and even the air would become his slaves. So if that jinn could take this status ring, then the whole world would listen to him and become his slaves. This devilish jinn wants Sulaiman al-Hassan to be removed and he will also sit on the throne. The jinn is waiting for when he will become the head of state. Then after 34 months, Sulaiman alayhi salam again organized an emergency meeting. So Salam said, "What is the matter? Why are you all looking so disappointed? And you have found a suitable bride for marriage." Then one of the ministers said, "Sir, according to your conditions, no suitable bride can be found for marriage. Again, a bride has written to you for the department, which you will be very happy to hear." Sulaiman alayhi salam said, "What kind of letter should I present?" Then another one of the ministers said, "Sir, there is a fisherman in the village, he has a daughter. He wrote to you about his son for marriage and also wrote that he has no greed for your wealth. He only wants to marry you." Another person on the other side of the cabinet said, "Hazor, this is never possible. He is not lacking in courage. He wants to marry Sulaiman's child, being the daughter of a jailer." Then Sulaiman alayhi salam tore the letter without thinking. Then an angel said to Allah, "The Lord of the worlds, O Allah, your prophet Sulaiman alayhi salam has become arrogant because of his wealth. Because she is the daughter of a jailer, she tore the marriage certificate without thinking." Then Allah, the Lord of the worlds, said, "The test will begin on Sulaiman al-Islam." Meanwhile, the jailer's daughter was very saddened to hear the news of the letter being torn. She prayed in pain and prayed, "O Allah, you are great, you can do everything. King Sulaiman rejected my proposal because I am a poor jailer's daughter, and I only feel for you and pray to you, O Allah, make me rich with Sulaiman Pasha. Get married, or else make King Solomon poor like me and marry me." Meanwhile, Solomon alayhi salam and his ministers were sitting in the royal court. At that moment, Solomon alayhi salam took off the funny ring on his hand and said to the bodyguard, "You will not go anywhere and do not look in any other direction until I come." After saying this, Solomon al-Islam went towards the bathroom. Then, taking this opportunity, the devil jinn, who possessed Solomon al-Ahmed, came to the bodyguard and said, "Give me the ring quickly. It is heard all around that you are like me. But that fake Sulaiman is roaming around the country. He wants to become the head of state of the country and sit on the throne. You will punish him wherever you see him." On the other hand, after a long time, when Sulaiman al-Islam became pure and asked for the ring from that bodyguard, the bodyguard said, "Whose ring is it and whose ring is it, and you are the rest?" Then Sulaiman al-Islam said, "I don't understand anything you are saying. What do you mean, I am your king Sulaiman?" Then the bodyguard said, "I understand. So you are asking for our king Sulaiman in that guise." Then Sulaiman alayhi salam said, "Who is going to become King Sulaiman in disguise?" The bodyguard said, "You go ahead and see, you will see it when you enter the royal court." Then when Sulaiman alayhi salam was going into the royal court, the devil jinn realized this and called all the servants in the royal court and said, "Listen, I have heard that a Sulaiman has just arrived in our country and is trying to sit on the throne in the form of a child. Therefore, wherever you see him, give him appropriate punishment and expel him from the country." Before this speech was over, the real Sulaiman al-Is entered the kingdom. Then all the servants of the royal court gave him the appropriate punishment and killed him and brought him to the bank of the river. In fact, they did not know that the devil was sitting on the throne and that this was the real Sulaiman alayhi salam. That is why they did not want to understand this matter anymore. Or in the evening, when the fisherman was returning home after catching fish, he saw something lying on the bank of the river. When he saw it, he went to him and saw a beautiful-looking man with a light emanating from his forehead. But he was beaten so much. Blood was pouring from his whole body. Seeing that he had taken some water from the river and put it on his head, after a while, Sulaiman alayhi salam regained consciousness. Now the jailer said, "Father, I don't know who you are. Where is your home? Who killed you like this and threw you here covered in blood?" Then Sulaiman alayhi salam thought to himself, "Now if I say that I am King Sulaiman, you might not believe me. He might say that King Sulaiman is sitting in the royal court and will consider me a liar, so he He didn't say anything, he just said that I got a bad blow on my head. I can't say anything. Now the fisherman Sulaiman took the child to his house. The next morning, Sulaiman alayhi salam recovered a little. Meanwhile, the fisherman was good, since he needed an employee to catch fish. So Sulaiman came to the house and said, "Father, where are you going now?" Sulaiman didn't say anything. He didn't understand where he was going, so Sulaiman Badshah remained silent. Then the fisherman said again, "Father, lately, a lot of fish have been caught in my net. I need an employee. If you don't mind, Father, you can help me with my fishing. I will pay you your salary. You will get 200 dirhams per month." Saying this, he left. 12 Sulaiman alayhi salam prayed to Allah and said, "O Allah, I do not know what sin I have committed, O King, and what is my condition now. If I have committed any sin, then forgive me in this world and do not make me a sinner in our day and night." After a while, King Sulaiman went to the river with the fishermen to fish while they were passing by. Then he saw several people standing in a worried and distressed state. Seeing this, he asked them, "Brother, why are you standing in such a worried state?" Then they said, "The situation in our country is very bad. The prices of daily necessities are rising, there is only anarchy, violence and hatred all around, and the children of the country are not taking any action." Actually, Solomon is a very polite and good person. What happened suddenly that the situation is getting out of hand, yet King Solomon is sitting quietly in the royal court, not taking any action. The people of the country are in great distress. Hearing this, King Solomon does not understand anything. What is the matter? He had forgotten everything. The one who is sitting on the throne and running the country is actually a devil jinn. But he cannot do anything because he does not have the ring in his hand. He cannot even say that I am Solomon's child, then no one will believe him. After hearing this, they went to the river to fish again. When the fisherman was fishing in the river, he saw that this was the first time that a large number of fish had been caught. He said to himself, "O Allah, since the day this young man came to my house is filled with grace. I don't know who this young man is, but he is his OCI. You have bestowed your grace upon me. All praise is due to you." After finishing your fishing, the child Solomon returned home. That night, the girl who prayed, with a tearful voice, dropped her weapons and began to pray to Allah. "O Allah, you are the Lord of the worlds. You know everything. In my life as a woman, I have never seen a man. No one has seen me. I have only fallen in love with the child Solomon. So don't let me die until I get Sulaiman as my husband. If I get Sulaiman as my husband, my female life will be successful. Tomorrow, in our day, I will be able to go to paradise holding the hand of Prophet Sulaiman. O Allah, accept my wish." The next day, Sulaiman alayhi salam also set out for fishing in the river. When they were fishing in the river, a storm with rain and thunder suddenly started. And then a bird was flying over the river, which suddenly stopped when it saw Sulaiman. Or the one who said, "What is the matter, Sulaiman the child? Why is he sitting there when he is supposed to be in the royal court?" Thinking this, Sulaiman the child went to the royal court that day without telling him anything. In fact, he could not understand what the matter was. The devil jinn was sitting on the throne in the royal court. Sulaiman took the form of a language and removed Sulaiman the child from power. He saw that the ring in his hand was that jinn, because of which the whole world was his slave. Then the good jinn released the devil jinn. Meanwhile, when the fisherman and Sulaiman the child were catching fish, he stopped at the edge of the river. Just then, a good day. He was crossing the river while chasing the bad guy. And then that funny ring that was in his hand fell into the river. Meanwhile, a big fish was collecting its food in the river. But suddenly the ring came in front of him and he ate that ring. Then Sulaiman caught fish in the jail and sold it and returned home. Then the next morning, the news spread throughout the country that the child of the country, Sulaiman the prophet, could not be found, he had gone somewhere. Meanwhile, almost a month of Sulaiman al-Islam, who was in his son's house. It has been a year since they took leave. Today you will leave. The fisherman called his wife and said, "Well, we have a young man who is 1 year old in our house. How do you like this boy?" His wife said, "Well, I have never seen such a polite and honest young man like him in my life." Then the son said, "Since the day this young man came to our house has been filled with the grace of Allah. Our needs have been removed. I have never seen such a good person in my life who has been able to improve. We have a beautiful, chaste, honest girl and our daughter is of marriageable age. What if our daughter gets married to this young man? Then his wife said that would be good. But will this young man agree, or will he go to the jailer Sulaiman al-Islam and say, "Okay father, I will tell you something, are you willing to listen?" Then Sonali said, "Tell me something that will make you say, okay. Tell me how many people are there in our house." Sulaiman al-Islam said, "You are 3, your wife and I are not, there are 4 of us in total." "Do you ever know that?" Sulaiman al-Hassan said, "What are you saying, I know 3. But the jailer said to another person, "I have a daughter, do you ever?" "Whom have you seen?" Sulaiman al-Salam said, "No, I have never seen her, let alone her shadow." "How many 12 people have seen her?" "Father, I have a daughter who is very modest and faithful and has never seen a man in my life. She fasts all day and worships Allah at night. I want to marry her to you. Father, you agree?" Sulaiman al-Salam said to himself, "Oh, how did Allah test me? I was a king and now I don't know what my situation is. What crime have I committed? May Allah forgive me, you are my best guardian." Then he thought that I have nothing to do with the situation in the country. The marriage will have to be done by 1 o'clock even if he is in jail. He kept saying that his daughter is a veiled and faithful person, so she can be married, then he agreed to the marriage. Then he went to the jail to buy wedding clothes. He gave him 102 rupees and said, "Father, go and buy all the things from the market and bring the clothes from the market." After buying the clothes from the market, their marriage was completed that day. After the marriage, Sulaiman al-Salam and the jailer were then son-in-law and father-in-law. The next day, he went fishing in the river again, or because the fish in the river ate Sulaiman al-Islam's funny rain, all the small and big animals in the sea became his slaves. Wherever he went, everyone followed him. This big man could not understand why everyone was running after him. When Sulaiman al-Salam and the fishermen cast their nets to catch fish, a lot of fish from the sea, including the fish that had eaten the rain, were caught in the net. Seeing this, he said to himself, "O Allah, since this young man came to my house has been blessed. It is full and today you have given me more grace because you are my son-in-law. I don't know why this young man has never caught so many fish in his life. Praise be to Allah." He sold all the fish in this fisherman. Only the fish that had eaten the ring was brought home because it was too big to feed to his son-in-law. But no one knows that in fact there is a funny ring named Sulaiman al-Hassan in the stomach of that fish. When he came home, he called his daughter and said, "Mom, this fish could have been cooked well. Today your marriage is complete. So you will cook it with your own hands and feed it to your son-in-law." And the father left there. Then when he was cutting the fish to cook it in the fish tank, he saw a ring inside the fish's stomach. The ring looked completely different, it was not an ordinary ring. Seeing this, my daughter thought that I am a poor child and I have nothing to give to my husband on our first wedding day. Since I got this ring, I kept the ring with me thinking that I would give it to my husband. Meanwhile, that was a good day. He started searching here and there to find Sulaiman alayhi salam, but he could not find it anywhere. In fact, he realized that because this ring was with someone else, Sulaiman alayhi salam had lost all his dignity and had forgotten everything. Meanwhile, all the people of the country, all the royal servants came to know this news that in fact, the devil had been sitting in the royal court all this time dressed as a child on a chair. After that, everyone became anxious to find Sulaiman al-Islam. Answer: Sulaiman alayhi salam entered the house, greeted his wife and said, "I am coming." "Okay, we are husband and wife. We have never seen anyone. And we do not know each other. By the grace of Allah, we both got married. But I have some questions." "What questions will you answer?" Then the jailer said, "You are my husband, my only duty is to serve you." "Of course, I will answer your questions." Then Sulaiman al-Islam said, "Well, tell me, have you ever loved anyone?" She said, "No, I have never loved anyone, but I have 1 o'clock old memories that say I do not want to be sad anymore." Then Sulaiman alayhi salam said, "Tell me what kind of memory I want to hear." Then she said, "No, I don't want to be sad thinking about that memory anymore. My parents married you, so you are my husband." Then Sulaiman alayhi salam said, "Tell me about that memory. I promise I will value your words and not care about us." Then the son's daughter said, "Then listen to what happened a long time ago. I fell in love with a person without seeing him. I have never seen him. I fast all day and worship Allah at night. I prayed and prayed to Allah to make him my husband. I prayed to Allah, either make me rich and marry him to me, or make him poor and bring him to me and marry him. Then Sulaiman alayhi salam said, "Who is that young man?" She said, "He has no lack of wealth. There is no lack of a palace. I did not love him because of his wealth. Out of the 4 conditions he gave, I had 3. But only because she was the daughter of a jailer. My letter was torn because of being poor." Then Sulaiman alayhi salam said, he told the young man, "He is the king of the whole world." Sulaiman son of Dawud alayhi salam thought of him and remembered old memories. "I do not want to be hurt anymore. From today you are my Sulaiman." Saying this, he put that funny ring on Sulaiman al-Islam's hand. Then immediately, as soon as Sulaiman al-Islam put on his ring, he regained all his dignity. Immediately, he started remembering all the events before his eyes. He understood that it had been a long time. Earlier, a prison girl had written a marriage proposal to him. Actually, this girl was mistaken. She had torn the proposal due to a little pride. She realized her mistake. Realizing this incident, Sulaiman alayhi salam bowed down and ended up. Later, he prayed to Allah and said, "O Allah, forgive me. I have made a mistake. You are great. You know everything. You have accepted this girl's prayer. You have changed me from a king to a poor man and brought me into her house as her husband. O Allah, I have come to this situation because of my unknowing mistakes. O Allah, I do not know how many other mistakes I have made.